He's a preacher! What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, you nuts? What? What's wrong with you? What back off? This is a clergyman!
The court ruling on the bail hearing for Pastor Artur Pawlowski has just been read. The decision, Pastor Artur Pawlowski will remain in jail. The Crown alleging that he is an ongoing and recurring risk of posing a threat to the security of those within society. Adam Sos here for Rebel News, and we are now with the Pawlowski family reacting to the troubling denial of bail by the courts today. Pastor Artur Pawlowski will remain in jail. This is extremely troubling, and I'm sure for no one more than you, for no one more than your family. We're definitely going to get a legal update with Sarah Miller and talk about the legal decision that went into this. But ultimately, we've seen your husband, a pastor, being treated in many cases worse than common criminals, than pimps and gangsters, being denied bail as though he's some sort of threat to society. Ultimately, what we have seen from Pastor Artur Pawlowski is he's preached, he's fed the homeless, and he's opened his church. That apparently in the COVID-19 world, in the Emergencies Act world, that is sufficient grounds to be denied bail and to be held in jail. But I want to ask you, Marjana, what is going through your mind? What's going through your heart to know that Pastor Artur, until seemingly, unless we're successful in an appeal, until March 11th for what he's done, which most would argue is probably not criminal, he's going to be behind bars, he's going to be in jail?
So of course it takes me always a couple days to process and to kind of be okay with that, if that makes any sense. What do we feel as a family? Of course, this is the worst nightmare. I just lost husband, father, but also I cannot stop but analyzing this, and this is terrible mistake. This is terrible mistake. When you know history a little bit, when you live through history, when you understand just a little bit politics, you know this is mistake. And this right now is unfolding in front of our eyes, what is going on in Canada on so many levels, from Mr. Trudeau to a preacher, to a truck driver, to a teacher. And this is unfolding, and I'm thinking, you do not put in jail person like my husband. Yeah. Because what is happening right now, you just gave him even bigger stage, in a good way, because their corruption is even more revealed. Yeah. Like how low as a society you have to be to arrest pastors. Where is freedom of assembly? Where is freedom of speech? Okay, as a pastor, let's argue if what he did was right or wrong. History and God is going to judge us. He spoke at the courts, and how terribly wrong was that? How terribly wrong was that? So as a family, it's going to be very hard for us, because right now what we are witnessing in Canada, they are breaking the law in the name of the law. And I'm all for jails, or all for justice system. Artur's mom finished law. My son is going to finish law, hopefully. We are all for it. We are all for it. If my husband would be in Poland and not emigrated, probably he would become successful lawyer. Now you see, you go to jail. Let's say you did something terribly wrong, and they are breaking the law inside in the name of the law.
So I'm now joined by Nathaniel Pawlowski, Pastor Artur Pawlowski's son. We spoke just the other day at the Remand Center with hopes Pastor Artur, your father, would be released That clearly not the case today. Him set with denial of his bail to remain in jail at least until March 11th. It's truly a shocking situation. I mean, things have gotten so bad in this country that I don't think we're surprised, but it remains perpetually shocking. Your dad, we're hearing he's being treated quite poorly in bad conditions. All this for daring to be a pastor in Canada.
I mean, my dad has been feeding the poor for over 20 years now. He has been just selflessly doing all these acts. I mean, ever since I can remember, since I was 4 or 5 years old, my mom would take me to see what's Dad doing today. Oh, he's feeding the poor. He's reading the Bible to some homeless people. He's preaching to them. That's who my dad is. That's where he feels his calling is, to be among the poor, the widows, the orphans, and to just give them hope. Read the Bible to them, preach to them, give them the gospel, give them a meal, because it's not just I love you or I serve this God that loves you. I'm gonna show that love to you by feeding you, by giving you something tangible. So that's where my dad's heart is, and he just wants to be left alone. The people who think that he's doing this to seek fame and money. Are you kidding me? My dad has had to remortgage his house multiple times just to keep doing what he's doing, because he's been harassed for 15 years when he was first arrested for reading the Bible in a public park in Canada. He's been dragged through the mud, defamed by the media, attacked by the whole full force of of politics and the justice system. All just because he wants to get people off of the streets, give them hope, and feed them. That people claiming that he's doing this for fame and money. I mean, what fame? I mean, he didn't have any fame for 15 years. He was harassed by police, and there was no fame attached to it. Yeah, now in the pandemic stage, some notoriety has come from that, but it's not like he was looking for that. Money, I mean, he's had to remortgage his house just to keep going.
So, joined by David Pawlowski, obviously an extremely trying time now, emotional for the whole family, being dramatically arrested and thrown in jail, nothing new, but this time one of the longest stays in jail. Now with bail being denied, it's going to be the longest stay for sure. Very often you've been there alongside Pastor Artur, but now he is on his own. Is it hard to be on the outside knowing what he's going through on the inside?
Well, it is, first and most of all, he's my brother, he's my blood. Especially for the past 18 years, I've been part of this ministry, part of everything that's been going on, and I know who my brother is, and he's a good man. He's a man that loves people. He's a man that has proven over and over and over again that he loves people. And not only he's been saving lives in Canada, but there is street church all over the world. And not only that, but he saved my life when I was on the streets.
For those out there watching this, please, there's so much going on in the world. Some of the restrictions are being dropped, but now is not the time to forget about Pastor Artur Pawlowski, who in many ways was fighting this battle before anyone. He very much led the vanguard. If you want to help pay for his legal counsel, Sarah Miller of JSS Barristers has been working tirelessly on his behalf since the very first charges, since the onset of COVID-19. So if you go to saveartur.com, you can chip in and help pay for his legal fees so that he isn't left defenseless in this battle that is clearly going to be waging on for some time. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank you so much, the Pawlowski family, for inviting me into their home and giving me this update. For Rebel News, I'm Adam Sos.
If you want to help my brother, please go to saveartur.com. Thank you. God bless you.